We've got plenty of flowers that mean love, but what about flowers that say, I hate you? What? Why would anyone want to know which flower symbolizes hate? I'm against spreading hatred into this world, but I think some people may find this video a useful reference for storytelling, novel writing, or tragic backstory crafting. And yes, because you want to protect yourself from people who want to sneakily send hatred towards you, not the other way around. Right? Right. The information in this video was mainly gathered from the Langage de Fleurs by Charlotte de Latour in 1819, Floral Emblem by Henry Phillips in 1825, Flora Symbolica by John Henry Ingram published in 1869, and The Complete Language of Flowers by S. Theresa Dietz in 2020. And of course, most of these flowers do contain other meanings, positive ones even, beyond just hatred. So just because someone sends you these flowers, it doesn't mean it automatically translates as hate. Different floriography books say different things about different flowers. The sender might mean something else completely, or doesn't even give an F about floriography, or they are a delivery person who's been asked to send these flowers to you. Enough babbling. Here are flowers that could possibly, likely mean hatred. Number 1 on the list. This is in literally every single book I've mentioned. It's Basil. The word basil derived from the Greek word basilikon, which means royal, noble, or kingly. It also shared the same etymology with basilisk, also known as the serpent king, famous for its ability to kill with a single glance. Ironically, basil was also believed to be the remedy for the basilisk's gaze. However, the Romans viewed basil as a symbol of hatred, believing this plant grew best when you curse, shout, rant, and hurl insults at the seeds while planting them. Maybe that's the starting point. But that's funny considering that now basil is a staple herb of Italian dishes despite the Roman attitudes towards it. There's an interesting take by HistoryExtra saying that basil goes black and smells vile after picking and being ignored pretty quickly, and maybe that's their clue. In medieval times, it will also say that there were superstitions believing that crushed basil could spawn scorpions, or smelling basil could breed scorpions into your brain. This superstition was also stated in Henry Phillips' books as follows. Culpeper, in his quaint old herbal, declares that basil is a cure for venomous bites and stings, besides affecting several other wonderful things. Hilarious, he states, a French physician affirms upon his own knowledge that an acquaintance of his, by common smelling to it, had a scorpion bred in his brain. Moreover, basil could be linked with poverty, as Madame Charlotte de Latour wrote in her book. Poverty is sometimes represented by the figure of a female covered with rags, seated by a plant of basil. Still, basil could also mean best wishes, sacred, or even love in some cultures. For instance, placing a pot of basil on a windowsill is an old Italian tradition saying that a young woman is ready to receive a suitor. Also, it is mentioned in Theresa Dietz's book that giving a man a common or sweet basil, specifically not holy basil, could mean beware someone is plotting against you. Enough about basil. I'm pretty sure you are bored of hearing the word basil over and over again, so the next one on the list is an orange lily. Aside from hatred, it does convey other negative meanings like dislike and revenge, but it can refer to confidence, well, sometimes to the point of pride or arrogance, desire, and passion. And of course, if you're curious if the tiger lily, the orange lily with dark spots, also mean hatred or not, the answer is not commonly so. It is not common for tiger lilies to be a symbol of hate. It's more linked to wealth and good fortune. Another one that directly means hate is fumaria. The name fumaria came from the Latin phrase fumustere, meaning smoke of the earth, possibly due to its grayish-green foliage that looks like smoke. Fumaria could symbolize gall, ill at ease, longevity, and spleen. Number 4, this is not surprising, black roses. Apart from death, some people also see it as a symbol for hatred and malice, or other strong emotions like revenge and despair. If you're looking for a positive meaning for black roses, you might want to see it as a flower of rebirth and rejuvenation. Despite its meaning, or maybe because of its meaning, I believe that the dark alt gothic people in my channel would really love to receive black roses. Hatred aside, if you want something more dramatic, there are flowers that mean I declare against you, while licorice and ragweed. Or if you want flowers that say something like go away or don't come near me instead of starting big fight, giving pennyroyal implies that you want to say go away. Or it could actually mean flee away, which sounds kind of more like a warning. Similarly, tansy is a flower that means you must leave, but it also means disdain or war, so it might not really help you avoid a big fight. Another option is burdock, which means touch me not. So that gives you a bit of a rejection vibe. Burdock can convey falsehood and impurity as well. Or if you just want to warn your friend, hey, someone hates your gut, monkshood or aconite mean a deadly foe is near, treachery or deceit, but it can symbolize fraternal love and chivalry as well. For people whose feelings don't really reach the point of resentment, but you want to imply that you don't really care about the receiver anymore and don't want to do much about the receiver anymore, Candy Tuft, this wonderful, sweet flower, is a flower of indifference and apathy. So if you want to imply that, this might be your choice. But what if you want a flower that gives a sign of aversion but not as strong as hatred? Cardinal flowers actually mean dislike, and yet it also has positive meanings as well as always, which are lovely and splendor. Confusing, right? Enough sweetness. Here are other flowers with similar, quite negative meanings. Flowers that symbolize disdain are common sundew, which can symbolize regret, manner, and surprise as well. Another one kind of threw me off a little bit. It's carnation. But before anyone feels bad that they have already given a hateful flower to their mom, I must clarify that it depends on the color. Though most carnations carry positive meanings, it is most common to say that yellow carnations represent disappointment, rejection, and disdain. Similarly, striped carnations were referred to as a sign of rejection and something along the lines of, sorry, I can't be with you. Another flower commonly mentioned in floriography books is frog orchid, which means disgust. It is stated in Henry Phillips' book that, from the resemblance which this curious flower is thought to bear to the frog, it has been made the emblem of disgust. Now, here's a quick list of other flowers that give off the I hate you energy. Common wormwood means unpleasant, adultery, do not be discouraged, and torment of love. Vermitwort or lobelia symbolizes ill will and malevolence. Petunia means disdain, anger, resentment, and your presence soothes me. How? Harry Buttercup means scorn, scornful laughter, death, and invitation. This flower is also covered in my death photography video, so if you're curious for more, you know where to go next. The next one doesn't really mean hatred, but I think it's a fun one to add in. Barberry, which is also a fruit, means ill temper, sharpness, petulance, and satire. The last one is not a flower, but it's rye. Rye can mean too many interesting things like apostasy, condemnation, disgust, mockery, trigger, sardonicism, the word which I didn't even know what it means until a while ago, and it also means dealings with the devil. Interesting. And that's like 17 to 20 flowers, depends on how you count them, that symbolizes hatred. Even though some of them have positive meanings mixed in, some of them do prominently shout, I hate you. I hope this video is useful for you, especially if you're writing lyrics, books, backstories, or just want to listen to this for fun. If you like this video, make sure to click the like button and also subscribe so that I know that this is the kind of content you enjoy, and I can continue compiling a crazier list of flowers with odd meanings. Speaking of which, if you have any flower meaning that you want me to cover, please do tell me in the comment section. And that's it for this video. I hope you have an amazing day. See you on the next journey. Floriography definitely is the curious thing, but apart from these books, I sometimes find comments from you guys or people who interpret flowers in their own way pretty cool and interesting.